We know there are many choices. We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Woo! Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the back rails in
Hello,
your
everybody.
mouth.
Bring them out, and I am bringing them out today, everybody. This is Marsha Wietecha. I am the host of the Born to Talk radio show. Trust me, I was born to talk. I don't know if I was born to do anything else but talk. But conversations plus connections equals community. And sometimes I wish people were here in the pre-show, like the hour before we go live, because honest to God, you can't even believe what was going on in the pre-show. If the pre-show is anything like what the pre-show is like, you guys are in for a treat. So welcome back. I hope that you've all had a really nice week. For those of us that live in Los Angeles, oh my God, it's so hot. But that's okay. It's okay. It could be worse, right? I'm just delighted to have you join me today. And this show isn't really about me. It's really about my guests. And I am so excited. It makes me want to bounce a basketball right this second. I would like to introduce you to my guests. To my right, Dino Smiley and his wife, Stephanie Smiley. This is the perfect name for you guys. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gosh, you know what? Truly. I know that many of you are listening maybe in your car or whatever, wherever you listen, but you got to go back and watch some of these shows because there's a reason. Were you born with that smile or did you just get that? Did you choose that name?
I was born with it.
Oh,
I was
my
born with it.
God, it's just it's electrifying.
Thank you.
Well, this show was all about basketball. Not just basketball, but certainly the emphasis is on basketball because if you know anything about me, you read my blogs at borntotalkradioshow.com, or you know me personally, you know my background about basketball in Westchester and the Clippers and the Sparks and Westchester, you name it, I love it. So I am thrilled today to have my guests, and I thought we would spend a little bit of our opening time getting to know you. It's a very funny story how Dino is here, and I might get to that story at some point because you know how I am. So I thought, though, that we'd right now talk a little bit about you. So let's just hear a little bit about yourself. Dino, where did you grow up, go to school, all that good stuff?
Well, I grew up, I'm an L.A. native. I grew up in Los Angeles. I went to Russell Elementary School, and I went to Drew Middle School, Fremont High School, L.A. Southwest, and Cal State Fullerton.
Okay.
So all my education came through
local guy.
L.A., yes.
Yes,
definitely,
indeed.
Definitely.
I think Westchester High played Fremont in football.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
We probably didn't win.
No.
But don't try and challenge us in basketball today.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the 90s.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
my goodness.
Today is different.
Today is different. So, all right. So that's a little bit about you. You are a local guy, just like I'm a local girl. You're sitting in a studio here that was my movie theater back when I was a kid. This is my Westchester home. Wow. Stephanie, it's really nice to meet you as well. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up and go to school?
Well, I grew up in Los Angeles, but I was born. I'm a Southern girl. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. I lived in Baton Rouge, and then my family moved out to California when I was about 4 years old.
Okay.
After that, I started going to elementary school here, 42nd Street Elementary School, Audubon Middle School, and Dorsey High School, Southwest College, and I graduated from Cal State Dominguez.
Okay. I just got to do a side thing here. Okay. Oh, my God. If you know anything about my shows and you follow me, did you hear her say she went to Dorsey? My mother went to Dorsey. The Motivated Men from Dorsey with Charles and Steve and Dave and who I can't remember the fourth guy. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. They were all part of the Motivated Men from Dorsey. Dave, Steve, Charlie. And I'm feeling so bad. Richard.
Yeah.
Richard. They were guests on my show. I know Charlie from the Y. You know, the crossovers are just remarkable. And do you work at Dorsey? Are you involved at Dorsey? What do you do at Dorsey?
Yes, I'm an employee there. I've been there about 23 years. I do quite a few things. I wear a lot of hats at Dorsey also. I'm in education. I work with special needs students.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are my babies.
Oh, nice.
I also, I'm the drill team coach, Dorsey.
Oh, no, you are
and
not.
Also in charge, myself and Miss B, we're in charge of dance team.
So you know Claudia? You know Claudia Hunes?
Yes.
Oh,
it's a small
my
world.
Gosh.
Yes.
She worked for me at the Y. You can't, do you stay in touch with her? Do you
No,
know how
not lately.
wonderful she's doing? Off the air.
Not lately.
Off the air, I will bring you up to date with Claudia and the fact that her son is going to graduate from college.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh my gosh, that gave me goosebumps.
Good.
Oh, that's a good news story.
Yeah.
This is all good news, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
How did you meet this smiling man right here and get a last name like Smiley?
Oh, wow. Many years ago, but
Yes.
about 32 years ago.
Yes.
No, more than that.
Yeah,
About 36 years
Did
ago.
you meet in college?
No, actually,
Oh, I want to hear this. Oh, no, this is a funny story.
actually, both of us came out of bad relationships during
Okay.
that time.
And you made
My
good
friends,
relationships.
yes, and my friends decided, come on, let's go out and hang out a little bit. And so did his. So we met at the Carolina West on, what's the name of
I'm
that
going to
street?
tell you where it is. It's my
Tell me.
backyard.
That's right.
It's on Aviation and Century
That's it.
Boulevard.
Yeah.
That's
We
where I grew
showed
up.
up.
That's where I hid my cigarettes in the locker
There
when I
you
was
go.
12 years old.
There you go. That's
Yes.
where we met.
No
At the Carolina
way.
West. He
No
called me. I was
way.
I was at table number 7. He made a phone call, and I picked it up, and that's been my lucky number ever since.
You know, do you know Joey Mandel? Is that name familiar?
Joey Mandel.
Danny Mueller? Oh, never mind. Because I mean, it's like, how do I not throw out names when you talk about the bowling alley? Holy cow.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, wow.
Yes.
See the things, that's why I don't want the answers ahead of time. It's just so darn exciting. Okay, so I know about you guys now, but we're going to be talking a lot about the Drew League, the Drew Foundation. So let's start with you, Dino. What is the Drew League? Tell our listeners what the Drew League is.
Well, the Drew League is it's a summer pro-am basketball league. It's based in the community, right in the middle of South Central Compton, Watts. And it started off just as a local basketball league, and now it has grown to 26 teams from all over the country. Players are coming all over the world.
They're
coming.
international too, right?
Yes, got a lot of international players playing, NBA players. It's just a melting pot for great summer basketball, and the Drew League is it's community owned. You know, we operate it, but the community owns it.
That's terrific. So instead of playing on the courts in Venice, they play in the gym at the Drew King Magnet High School. Is that
That's
right?
King Drew Magnet.
King Drew. I'm saying it the wrong way. And you went to junior high. Did it start there at the junior high?
Yes, the Drew League in 1973 was started by the founder, Alvin Wills, who was after-school coach. And I was there as a 13-year-old on his after-school team. And he decided to put together a summer league for the local guys who had just left going on to high school and college. So it was only like 6 teams, but they all were able to walk right down the street and play. And it was very competitive, and everybody enjoyed it. And that's how the league started. So on Friday, it was on Wednesday nights and Friday nights back then. And it was just pure basketball.
Was the Drew League named after the name of the gym, the junior high school gym?
Yeah, after the name of the school. And actually, Drew is Dr. Charles Richard Drew.
Okay.
He had the plasma, the blood transfusion. He was the one who created that.
No kidding.
Yeah, and African American, and the school was built in 1963, and it was named after him.
No kidding.
Yes.
That's really something. Oh my gosh! Can you believe that we're already to our first break? Really? That's what.
Time
Well, I
flies.
told you.
Yeah.
And is this your girl here?
That's right.
She is your girl,
That's
isn't
right.
she?
That's right.
And I can see why. She's beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
No, it's the truth. We're going to take a break, everybody, but trust me, you don't want to leave this, because what Dino and Stephanie have done in the community along with their children is so outstanding. So stay tuned. It'll be a short break, and we'll be right back.
This way, my girl, talking about my girl. I've got so much honey, the bees into me. I've got a sweeter song than the birds in the trees.
Hi, this is Marsha Wietecha, inviting you to join me every Monday at 1 p.m. for Born to Talk, where conversation plus connections equal community. Be sure to tune in to Born to Talk with Marsha Wietecha, Mondays at 1 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also listen live at iTunes Radio R&B, TuneIn Radio, Radio Flag, Live 365, or AHA Radio. This is reality radio, handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. We are LA Talk Live, and we are born to talk. Okay, so the name of this song is called Blow the Whistle by Too Short. Okay, let me tell you, Dino. So when I asked my guest to give me the names of songs, right? So he gave me the name of the song, Blow the Whistle. Like, you think I had that on my playlist? No. But he wrote it, T-O-O, short, S-H-O-R-T. Do I find it? No. Why don't I find it? Because you know how you spell short? It's the money sign. Hello. See the things we learn from our guests? I have it now.
All right.
All right. So before we went to break, I wanted to ask a question of you, Stephanie, because I think this is important. I have a sense why Dino is involved. He's a ball boy at age 13, you know, and he just grew up in the Drew League. What brought you to the Drew League? What was your interest in being involved with the Drew League?
At that particular time, when he was he was participating. He was actually a coach the time that I got involved.
Oh, he was coaching at that point.
Yes, he was coaching at that particular time, and we were dating.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we were dating, and as he coached, I came, of course, to support his team. He had a team called the Dreamers. So I was the girls that came.
That's what that meant when it said the Dreamers. I didn't know that. That's the connection.
That's the
connection.
connection.
Go to his website. Okay, go ahead.
So as I'm sitting there, I'm just enjoying the games and as a girlfriend. And later, fast forward, later on down the years, after the marriage, I became more and more involved. Actually, I was one who was started taking care of the uniforms. At that particular time, we didn't have sponsorships.
Right.
So we would buy a set and maybe 2 sets, and then they would have to give them back at the end of the day.
Oh,
so
wow.
I became the wash hand.
You were like the team mom.
I was the team mom for these grown adults. So I would
my
wash them and
gosh.
throw them across the line to dry. We didn't have a dryer, so I would throw them across the line.
Oh, my gosh, Stephanie.
Yeah, and
Those
so-
were the old days,
Those
weren't
were the
they?
old days. That was what is that? The 80s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
my gosh.
yeah.
So that's how you started. And now, my gosh, you fast forward, and we're going to talk about
Yes.
now what your involvement is. Oh, my goodness, it's so much. So you're the commish.
Yes.
So there was a lot of people. How many people, if people were to go to your website, which is the www.drewleague.com, they'll see when they go to the About page, I think, they'll see a bunch of pictures. One is included is your brother, right? Your
Right.
big brother.
Right.
And what his name is?
William.
William. And then Alvin is there listed.
Alvin's there.
You're there. Who are some of the other names that were involved in those founding days?
Bill Crawford.
Okay.
Bill Crawford. Also Charles Lovely.
Okay.
Yeah, those were
So
the 5.
you guys were very instrumental in really getting this off the ground, even though you were a child in the early days. And I didn't know you became a coach. How long did you coach? Did you play too?
I played a little bit.
Okay.
I played a little bit when I was about 15, 16. I played. But I actually was, to this date, I still hold the record as the youngest coach to win a championship at Drew at age 17.
Really?
Yeah, I was coaching college guys.
So that was going to be my question. So at 17, was the league already formatted the way it is now? Because that's kind of what I wanted to ask you about. I wanted to learn a little bit more. So let me jump forward to what I just had read. As the commissioner of the league, what are those responsibilities? What do you do as the commissioner?
Oh, as a commissioner, quite a few jobs. You have to wear a lot of hats.
Okay.
One of the things is that I have to seek and get permits for the facility at King Drew. Also, I have to put together the meetings for the coaches, go over the rules, the dates, meet with our sponsors, set up the schedules. Then I have to put out fires because you're talking about a very intense league.
Yes.
So you have to sometimes.
There's people. When you got people, that happens.
You get guys get a little upset, so you have to counsel them. Sometimes with love, sometimes with a little bit more anger. But so I have to I have to do a lot of things
Right.
there, and then I also make sure that security is
Right.
in place, and all of our volunteers and staff is
Right,
together.
because I know when we went, we like parked around the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and we encountered a lot of what I would call volunteers, people that were just outside saying, you know, how do you get into the gym? It's like, oh, you go around the corner and then you go in over there, and there's just lovely people there. So I could see that you do have a lot of volunteers. So when does the season start?
The season started already, which normally it always starts the end of May,
Okay,
and it'll run all the way until the finals, August 13th.
okay. And the finals, we talked off the air. The finals are not held at the high school, correct?
No, this will be the second year that we'll be holding it at LA Southwest College.
So even bigger.
Yes.
That's really
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
You pack the house, don't you?
Yeah.
You
yeah,
do pack the house.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask the AC question, so I won't ask.
Oh.
Go ahead and ask.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
want to
You got
ask now.
some news.
I think I know that. That's almost why I started. So, did you get air conditioning since last year?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, ain't that sweet?
Finally.
It's like a cooling center.
Oh,
People
that's
come in,
so nice
come
just to
and
get out.
Yeah, people come and just
Well,
buy food at the snack bar and sit there
No,
and
well,
cool off.
and you can, and it's free, everybody. Now, I know that if you're listening in Brooklyn, you probably aren't going to stop in this week. But for those of you that are local, tell people where is the school located exactly?
It's located in Los Angeles, borderline of Compton, at 1601 East 120th Street in LA, and zip code is 90059.
Right.
It's at King Drew Medical Magnet High School.
And the school itself is quite the school too, I might say. The school is notable.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you get your players? How are your players recruited? Who plays on the Drew teams?
You know, we have the teams and we have the coaches. So the coaches kind of recruit their players. I kind of oversee it. We bring in the teams. The teams have to be competitive. So a lot of times when new teams want to come in, we'll have what we call play-in games. We have to put them out on the court to see how they do, because the worst thing you want to have is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you got these giants like JaVale McGee and Paul George on one team,
Yes.
and then here come the office reps
Yeah.
on the other end at 5:10.
They're the YMCA noon ball players is what they
Yeah.
are. They
So-
think they have game.
yeah. So recruiting-wise, a lot of recruits are the coaches look at these guys' resume, where they play.
All right.
You know, are they overseas? And we take high school kids, especially if they're phenoms.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. So you
Yeah.
can be as young as, you don't
15.
care. You can be as young as 15.
Yeah.
You better be physically mature enough to
Right.
go up against somebody like Stanley Johnson.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Well, if you look back, the Westchester teams with Bobby Brown and Trevor and all those
Yes.
guys,
Did they
were
play?
in high school. The whole team played. Red, the whole crew.
Really?
And they got out there. I think they went like 2-13, but it was
It's all
great
right.
experience. It was great experience for them. They went into their high school season and ended up winning the
And
state.
dominated.
everything.
You bet. Who coached them? That was a while ago.
That was the.
I mean, Ed doesn't coach
no,
them in
it
your
was,
league.
It was. I forgot the
Well,
gentleman's
that's okay.
name. Yeah.
But I mean, so the guys. So it's summertime. So
Yeah.
They are entitled to do this, right? They don't
Yes.
have to get permission from LAUSD to do this. Okay.
No, it's
and so
summer.
you've got some high school kids.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I saw when I was there. A former UCLA player. I can't remember who he was right now. I wish I could tell you who it was. He's kind of, and I don't want to describe him because it wasn't going to be in polite terms. But anyway, so you do have like college players that maybe would have liked to have gone to the pros, but maybe didn't. Then you have NBA guys, right?
Right.
Current and former.
Yes.
So a variety. So the coach makes up the team. Is that how that
Yes,
works?
Yes.
And how many players on a team?
You can have 12 active
Okay.
and 15 on the roster.
All right. And the season, okay, and we know how long the season runs. But you don't, what do you play? Do you play Friday to Sunday? Are those your days?
Our main games are Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
From 10 a.m. to the last game tipping off at 6 p.m.
6 p.m., all right.
But we have a handful of Friday night specials. Like we have one coming up this Friday night.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, so who will play in that game?
That game this Friday night, we have 3 games. I think we have Baron Davis's new addition team. I believe we have the NW is not playing. It's LA Unified, which is a lot of the Westchester
Okay.
guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and,
And when you say Baron Davis's team, is that you don't mean he's going to be there coaching, do you?
He coaches one team,
He
and
does.
he plays. He has two.
And he coaches and plays?
Yes, on one team he coaches, the other team he plays.
Oh, come on now. So do you get to say which team he plays on?
He plays for BB for Life. They actually won the championship last year.
BB for life, basketball for life. Now you know I'm going to go
Yeah.
watch that game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking a lot about Baron because he is really significant when it comes to the Drew League
Oh,
in his
yes.
documentary.
Definitely.
But one of the other things that you do that I find really inspiring, and I don't know the background on this, Stephanie, so I thought I'd start with you, and you chime in because you're the co-founders of this. You started a .org. You started a foundation. When did you start your foundation?
Roughly about 9 years ago, we started it.
And for what purpose? What was your mission?
The mission was to help the community. My husband works at the park, and I work at school board, and so we see a lot of things that doesn't go right with the children. A lot of
Okay.
them weren't being fed. They weren't eating proper. They were coming to the park. I would come there after work. They were coming to the park. A lot of them were hungry. So what we started to do was go ahead and purchase food, and would just keep it on hand. Also, the kids that would participate, they were going to school, didn't have supplies, books. They needed this, they needed that, backpacks, haircuts. I mean, you name it. They needed it.
They were
So out of our pockets, we were just doing it.
wow.
And then after a while, a couple of other guys, former Drew alumni, we kind of got a group together and decided, let's do this. Let's just help.
Let's take it to the next
let's
level.
take it to the next level. We started helping out, putting more money into it, and then we decided, let's go ahead and do the foundation. That's
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So do they come, do you work at the park? You're Parks and Rec?
Yes.
So do they come to the park? Is that where they would get their food, or how does that work?
Yeah, they were there. They were
Okay.
coming right after school. They were coming,
All right, it's a
Yeah.
safe place for
Safe
them to
place.
be. You bet.
Play and eat and just to be coddled.
What age child are you speaking about?
Elementary, middle, and high
Really?
school. All three
All
levels.
three, boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
And I'm sure you got to know them well.
Oh, yeah.
And so did you have volunteers that were at the park that helped to do this, or how did
It
you
was-
facilitate that?
Well, basically what it was we would just have food on hand in the freezers, and, burritos and things like that,
Yes.
cereal. And we were doing that, and we were also finding ourselves buying tennis shoes. And we've had a young lady who was going to the prom, but her mom couldn't afford the prom dress.
Wow.
So we had to take care of that. And so that's when we said with the foundation, let's because we had some of the ball players like Trevor Ariza and all these guys, they were saying, Dino, if you guys were a foundation, we can give,
Oh, gosh.
as a tax write-off. So
That's
we said, okay.
wonderful.
So we did that, and one of our biggest donors has been Barron, of course. Nick Young has donated some, and then Meta
Nick
World
Young.
Peace.
Okay, can we just switch over? Nick Young's going to the Warriors.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Good grief. All right, go on. Swaggy P, take
Swaggy.
some. Like they don't have enough stacked
Yeah.
people on that team, for
Yeah.
God's sake.
Swaggy P goes north. Yes.
Yes, he did. All right. And Meta, is he still playing?
He's not under contract right
Okay.
now. I don't think he's going to get back with the Lakers.
All right.
I think they're going to move the
All
other
right.
direction. But I think he's going to end up working with them though.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Good guy.
But they're generous to the Drew. And
Yeah.
and do people just call you the Drew, or do they always put league afterwards?
A lot of them say at the Drew. We're going
Yeah,
down
that's
to
what
the
I
Drew.
bet at the Drew.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What a great opportunity, and what fun entertainment. Gosh, I'm not kidding you. It's great basketball. So why do you think it's so? What is it that you offer the community? You've got this foundation. You've got this league. What does the community get from this?
Pride. They get pride.
Yes.
We've seen people come to the different gyms. For instance, we had the small gym, and the kids are really excited over there. After school, we've gone up there a couple of times and did some little clinics for them. And they're just excited that Drew started there. And then you make your way to the park, and people talk about the big summer when all the players came through here. And we've had people come from out of town and just take pictures of the gym. Just almost like taking pictures of the Watchtower and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're like a
Yeah.
community symbol.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love your logo. Let's
Yeah.
just for a moment. So no excuse, just produce.
Yes.
Who came up with that?
I came up with that back in 1984.
Really, that's
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, in 1984, I was trying to come up with just something I had just taken over as the commissioner from Alvin, and I was trying to give it something just to stick.
Right.
And we patented it and everything, and all of a sudden now it's just like everybody loves it.
Do you know how you don't have to be a basketball player?
No.
You could be a nurse.
Yeah.
You could be a school teacher. You could be a college student. You could be my neighbor sitting in the studio. No excuse.
That's right.
Just produce.
That's right.
It really is so straightforward.
Yeah.
It really is. It's really a brilliant brand
Yeah.
to what you do, and I think it's really important. In your community, because you do have this foundation and you do have a board, do you look for volunteers? Do you want people to join you and support you in some of the things that you do?
Oh, definitely. We always looking for volunteers. There's a few events that we have.
That's what I was wondering. Do you have
Yes,
events?
Yes. The largest one is the Christmas. We feed the community. We usually average about 300 people.
Wonderful.
As you know, in Los Angeles, we have this large homeless population.
The largest in the country,
Oh
from what
my
I
gosh.
understand.
Yes. And so they already know we're coming. And
Sure.
so they're there, and then they tell their friends.
Wonderful.
And it's just, it's tear-jerking to see
It
them
is.
wait in line, and they're being fed good food. I have a group of girls, some of my ladies, friends from school. They
From
come
Dorsey?
and volunteer from Dorsey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they come in and help with the cooking, and we
Wonderful.
cooked wonderful food, a full Thanksgiving style meal,
Really?
turkey dressing,
Really?
yams, just about
Who
everything.
provides you the kitchen space? Where do you do it?
It's done at the park.
Oh, you have that
So-
ability. You have a kitchen at the park?
Yeah, it's not a real big kitchen. What
No, but
happens
still.
is we give our volunteers the food, and they cook it and they bring it in the trays.
From home.
Oh, I
They
see.
cook it at home and they bring
I
it.
see what
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
saying. And then they come to the what's the name of the park?
Washington Park.
Washington Park.
Yes.
Do kids play ball on the courts there too?
Yes. Yes.
But they don't want to.
Yeah.
When they know about you, it's like, hey, we can play outside, but we could really go inside.
Yeah.
For real. That's wonderful. And you've been doing this for 9 years. Do you provide other kind of mentoring and program type things to some of the youth?
Yeah. One of our biggest program is, a lot of the organizations have intervention,
Yes.
but we tag prevention.
Oh,
because
man, before-
we get the kids young, and we keep an eye on them as they grow. We assist them as they grow. We assist them, and that way, because life is life.
Right.
If someone's been out there gang banging or doing drugs for pretty much all their years, it's kind of hard to bring them back in, even though we try.
Right.
But if we get those
Then
kids who
before-
have never been touched by these gangs, then we got a chance to create a whole
You
different.
bet.
Whole different program.
And do you find that on the court, do you ever have members of opposing gangs playing ball?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Both, did you both say that? How does that work when you're on a court?
It's wonderful
It's beautiful.
because the thing is, we've got, as we stated in the documentary, we have a Crip as the head coach, and his assistant is a Blood. But
But these are OGs.
These are OGs. And
Don't
they're
laugh,
also-
Richard. I know what an OG is.
Yeah. And so these guys have put a truce. Nothing happens at Drew.
You're safe.
Like everybody says,
Oh, yeah.
if anybody does something at Drew to close us down, all the gangs from different areas surrounding that facility are going to do something
You
to
bet.
whoever did that.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because this is a jewel in your community, isn't it?
Yes.
It really is. And you don't just have men's leagues either, do you?
no, we have a women's league. It's headed by Tanisha Ware.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Did
that's
she
played
play
at
WNBA?
No, she didn't play WNBA.
I didn't think so because I'm pretty familiar with that. Okay,
Yeah.
but she runs your women's
She
league.
runs the women's league, and that's over at Drew Middle School where we originated at.
Okay.
Yeah, she runs that.
All right.
Yeah,
and
and
do you? I'm sorry. I told you I was going to interrupt.
That's okay.
Do you play a standard game? I mean, how many minutes do you play? Do you play 2 quarters, half 2 quarters, or how do you set your timing?
Yeah, it's 4 8-minute quarters.
4 8-minute
stop
quarters.
Time. Yeah, regulation time.
Regulation time. Regulation court.
The court is maybe King Drew's court is maybe about 3 feet shorter
Okay.
and about 2 feet less.
Okay,
width-wise,
so
it's close to it.
That almost sounds like a women's court.
Yeah.
Is because the women's court is slightly smaller,
Yeah.
a little bit narrower, and not as long as when we go to the Staples Center. They really do have a little bit smaller of a court.
Yeah.
But same ball. I mean, you're not using a smaller ball.
No.
Basket's the same height.
That's right.
You're still scoring 3 points.
That's right.
It's not like that thing that's on TV right now. The
Three
on
big
three, the big three. Have
Yeah.
you watched that?
I've watched it a little bit.
That's kind of weird. I have to
Yeah.
say, I was like, why aren't they running down to the other side of the
No.
court, honey? Because there's only one basket. It's
Yeah.
3 on 3. Oh,
Yeah.
pay attention. All right, so you have some women that play.
Mm-hmm.
You have the men that you've just described that play from high school up to how old's the oldest person that plays? Do you have any idea?
Right now, this season, I believe the oldest player is Nick Sanderson, who's 45.
Oh my gosh, he's really old, isn't he? Can he run up and down the court?
Oh, yeah, he can
yes,
still
he
shoot
can.
it. He
You
can
asked Vince Carter at 40 if he can play, and he'd say, "Hell yes."
Yeah, he still
Yes,
got it.
if you've got game, you've got game. Let those little kids get out of the
That's
way.
right.
They're the age of his kids.
That's it.
Oh my gosh. So then, do you have a youth league as well?
Yeah, we have a youth league that's ran by the county.
Oh, okay.
through Parks and Rec at the job I'm at.
Oh,
So
okay.
we do have a youth league where a lot of our kids from the Drew League parents bring their kids.
Oh,
there.
nice. So is your Park and Rec? Is it an after school program, or is it a drop in, or do they have to pay, or how does that work?
It's actually our after school program is a free program.
Wonderful.
It's a grant-driven
Oh,
program.
wonderful.
Yes.
That's great. So you've just been a Parks and Rec basketball, help kids kind of guy your whole life, haven't you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you too. Because did I understand you to say, Stephanie, that not only do you teach at Dorsey, you're on the school board in your community? Is that right? No, you're not. What board are you on?
Foundation board.
Oh, the foundation board.
yes.
Okay. And how many people are on your board currently?
We have 11.
11 board
yeah.
members. And you could always use more. I know what that's like.
Always.
Give and
Always.
get, though.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
just somebody that wants to smile and look pretty.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we don't need smart, pretty little people. You need
No,
to
we need
give
workers.
You need workers.
Workers.
Give and get.
That's
Give
right.
and help get, so that you can spread the word out. Because basketballs are expensive.
That's right.
Uniforms are expensive. Shoes are expensive.
Right.
You know, and anybody that you're associated with Nike, right?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
not so bad.
No. No.
That's a good deal.
That's a good deal.
It
It's
sure
a good
is.
deal. They helped out quite a bit. Quite a
That's
bit.
terrific.
Yes.
You know, but any other organization that can help you, you certainly wouldn't turn them down.
No,
You are
no.
notable people.
Yeah.
You know, and I
Definitely.
mean, you've been around a long, long time. I bet who is okay, just throw a name out. James Harden. Did he play?
Yes.
Okay.
James Harden.
Bearded James
beard.
Harden.
Bearded one.
Yes.
Beard. Yes.
Okay.
James is one of our regulars.
Can tell me Chris Paul?
Not yet. Chris
Okay,
Paul
well,
hasn't
you
made-
know, now he's got to drive
now he's
distance,
with
honey.
James. Now he's with James.
Yeah,
James may bring him with him.
Way to go, CP3. Now the only CP3 we got in town is my team, and that would be Candace Parker, number 3.
That's right.
Which is no slouch, I might also add.
Championship. She's
You
a
bet
champion.
she
Right.
is a
She's a
champion.
champion.
I was not happy about that trade, let me just tell you.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
not happy about that trade.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy about getting rid of J.J. Redick, and I certainly wasn't happy about getting rid of Jamal crossover.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to have a whole new team this year.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Maybe we'll go farther. We got Jerry West.
Yeah. Jerry's gonna make some
He
moves
knows
for
something,
you.
doesn't he?
He's gonna make some moves. It's
He's-
not over.
It's not over till
not over.
It isn't over. But this segment is. Oh, perfect.
wow, perfect, isn't it?
You'd think I did this professionally the way that was so smooth.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what do we listen to? Oh, we're listening to John Legend.
He's
That's
the
it.
best.
Glory.
Oh man,
And I love this song.
I love this song.
Yeah.
Doesn't it give you goosebumps?